So the pecking order, the order of performance of the Formula 1 cars heading into 2025. Ferrari are definitely going to be up there in my opinion. They had at times the fastest car last year and they finished second overall in the Constructors' Championship, not that far behind McLaren of course. And an early rumour is suggesting that the new Ferrari for 2025 is 4/10 faster. Is that 4/10 faster overall, or is that 4/10 faster than any other car on the grid? Let's have a look, because that's not an insignificant margin by Formula 1 standards, of course. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com. As always. A motivated Lewis Hamilton really could win a record 8th World Championship in 2025, his first season at Ferrari at the age of 40. That is the view of arch rival Red Bull's powerful advisor Dr. Helmut Marko, as Hamilton and teammate Charles Leclerc got the all-new 2025 Ferrari up and running at Fiorano. It felt fine, said Hamilton, with Leclerc also telling Sky Italia there were no negative surprises. Despite team boss Fred Vasseur admitting that the new Red Racer is an evolution rather than a 99% new as he suggested months ago, it is now the only car in the entire field with a pull rod suspension at both the front and rear of the car. We reached a limit with the old concept, admitted technical boss Loic Serra. To give ourselves more development options, we had to switch to pull rods. Hamilton watched Leclerc debut in the 2025 Ferrari in the morning, but Leclerc did not return the favour later in the day. I went to sleep because I came back from London at 4:30 in the morning, and at 7:30 I was already here for the first meeting. But I followed from a distance, he smiled while he was dreaming. Hey man, if you need to sleep, you need to sleep. Nothing wrong with that. Hamilton said he is getting along with his new teammate very well so far, although he does expect there to be arguments as the season goes on. Charles is only 27 and he's probably more mature than I was at that age, said the British driver. It will not be easy to beat him, especially as it's already his home. However, when Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel arrived at Ferrari, they almost had instant success. I didn't realise that, and it gives me even more respect for them, Hamilton said. What I do know is that testing is more limited than ever. Just 3 days plus the 200 kilometers filming day, which is shared between us. Unfortunately, I haven't spent enough time in the car, and I'm still acclimatising. I think it took me 6 months at Mercedes to get my first win, but I'm doing everything I can to be ready for this first race, he added. Early rumours suggested the new car, the SF25, is around 4 times faster than its predecessor in the simulator. That's a lot in the world where thousands count, Correa de la Sera reported. That is despite the fact that the nose and front wing are largely unchanged when compared to 2024. If the rules are changing, it makes sense to combine this with a development of the wing, Vasseur said, referring to the mid-season clampdown on front wing flexibility. It is believed that Serra, a new arrival from Mercedes, insisted upon the pull rod change to solve Ferrari's problems with tyre wear. Red Bull's Marko thinks tyres will be key to how well Hamilton can do at Ferrari. Hamilton has to get qualifying right, and it never was his strength. Right, this is the man who has the most pole positions in Formula 1 history. Let me just add that as a footnote. He told Österreich, if he loses 2 or 3 attempts to Leclerc, he always has to work at a few positions. That puts a strain on the tyres. Some think that Hamilton is unlikely to succeed at Ferrari because of his advancing age, and with a teammate as competitive and settled as Leclerc. I would be cautious about saying that, Marko noted. If Hamilton is motivated, he can continue where he left off in 2021. The comeback he delivered then was impressive. And if you don't know what that comeback was, I mean, it's not just a championship comeback because it very much, kind of flip-flopped between Hamilton and Verstappen that year. It's a comeback in terms of his fitness because he had long COVID, of course, didn't he? And, his fitness was not the same for a long, long time, and I think he really suffered because of that at times. So it was very impressive the way he came back. Look, I know what Marco's trying to say, and I know what Marko does when he's saying he's never the best at qualifying. He is one of the best in qualifying, or he was anyway. Over 100 pole positions. You don't get that many poles and you're not good at it. Right? You're pretty good at qualifying at that point. He's always been revered as early in his career, he was very much revered as someone who was better in qualifying than the race. Now it's the other way around. I do think he's lost a yard of pace, as it were, to borrow a footballing expression. I do think over one lap he has lost a yard of pace, but his race pace is still as good as it ever has been. The thing with Hamilton is, and I saw this in a comment a while ago, and I do agree, to be honest, he needs a car that suits him. And it needs to suit him well. And if he's got that, he's unbeatable. No one can stop him. And if it's outside of that window, he does struggle. And I think we saw that at Mercedes in the last couple of years, to be honest. But let's see what happens, guys. It's going to be a fascinating season. I do kind of see what Marko is saying. But, you know, that 4 tenths improvement, I don't know, that doesn't seem like... it seems decent, but it doesn't seem like a lot. But then again, this season is going to have a lot of teams focusing on 2026. So that might be a winner. That might be enough, but it might not be. We don't know. We've not even got into testing yet. You know, we're going to get into that next week in Bahrain, of course. And we'll be here to do some coverage of that, of course. So yeah, see you soon, guys, for some more content on the world of Formula 1, F1 news, opinion pieces, everything in between. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. And if you want to see some more content like this, head over to Patreon, become a Patreon, become a F1 legend, as I'm going to call you on there for sure. And yeah, if you want to support us some more, head over to Substack as well, the biggest newsletter on Formula 1 in the world. I will get that outro right eventually for that. But yeah, see you soon, guys. Have a great weekend.